What's up, Headbangers? Welcome to Headbangers Australia. I've got a band from America. They're called Out of Darkness. I've got Bill on guitars, Eric the vocalist, and Detley on drums, man. How you guys been?
Awesome.
Doing well. Great.
Awesome,
Happy to be here.
How did Out of Darkness came together? So how did you guys get together and get the band started?
In 2020, I had some time off from what I was doing, and I was wanting to form my own band, and found Eric on the internet singing a song called "I Surrender," which is actually on the new record that we did. And when I saw him singing that, I was like, man, I think I can do something with this guy. So through a mutual friend at the time anyway, we hooked up, and Eric came to Orlando, and I met him down there. We went to like a local jam night and just sort of, started playing together, doing some, Judas Priest, some Iron Maiden and stuff like that. And we pretty much had some instant chemistry. I could tell that we were both kind of on the same page as far as what we were wanting to do. And things just sort of took off from there.
Bill, how did you get part of this project?
Sure. There was a band I still play with, and now Brent actually plays with them too. We have it's like a tribute to 80s and 90s metal called The Deplorables, but Brent is now the drummer. But anyway, so that band opened up for Out of Darkness. And so they knew me, I knew them, and it was kind of implied there might be some lineup changes, and if there were, would I be interested? And I said, sure. And then I think maybe a few months later, you guys actually made a change, and they asked me if I wanted to audition, and things went pretty well. And here we are, a couple of years later.
I heard some of your songs earlier, and I find that your songs are a very blend of power, progressive, melodic hooks, delivery, style like crashing riffs. Your vocals, Eric, they're very dynamic. They're very versatile.
Thank you.
So I guess what makes your sound stand out in probably for Out of Darkness? Like, what would you define your band's sound as a collective?
I think the sound of Out of Darkness is a compendium of heavy metal. It's all the sounds of the past combined with all the things that are happening now, melded together into this boiling, overflowing cauldron of fresh new metal that we deliver and drip down into the ears of our listeners.
Cool.
The adjectives are flowing.
Yes. Me and Bill are a little bit more old school. We're a little older than Eric. So we come from kind of the 80s metal thing. Me, myself, I come from like the school of Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and then, of course, Iron Maiden. Those were my early influences. And I think Bill dug them too. I believe he has some other favorites as well. Well, we kind of blended the old school, is what I call that, and Eric's a little bit more new school than us. So kind of to reiterate what he said, it's a mix of the old and the new. We just classify ourselves as heavy metal. It does have a progressive tinge to it, for sure. But I don't know, it seems like a lot of times when you say you're progressive, it's almost a bad word. So I would say we're slightly progressive, thought-provoking lyrics, a little bit unusual, definitely not straightforward, but, thought-provoking, positive, steaming pot of metal.
Yeah, because as I said, when I heard some of your songs, it's got that old school vibe, and then Eric's vocals being the clean, it represents more of the modern, and I think that it's a good work on. It's a good hand in hand because it's basically very creative. It's not really, there's no tags. There's no tags to your songs. It's basically original. It's creative because you're using everyone, you're using you're using the skill set. You know, Eric's skill set's coming in with his vocals. You're getting what with his influence out, and your music's very, you know, it's got that old school mixed with the kind of modern sound that kind of complements that. And I really appreciate listening to it because it's a lot of storytelling in your songs. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Oh, good, bro. I guess, you know, just being a couple years old and, you know, being a new band, you know, especially like underground kind of metal and kind of stuff, has there been any standout moments with you guys in your journey? Has there been any band highlights or each of your personal highlights that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely been some highlights. Some of the highlights would be, of course, recording the records. The most recent highlight would be we re-recorded our first EP into a full length, which is the new thing that we just put out. So that's definitely a major highlight. We put a lot of work into it, and Bill was the mastermind MVP of the situation. He engineered it, he produced it, he facilitated it. You know, we all did our thing within it, but Bill spent hundreds of hours more than we did on it, and doing it ourselves, we were able to take our time and fine tune it more. And being that they were old songs that we had lived with for a while, you know, they're revised a good bit from the original version. When we originally recorded it, Bill wasn't in the band, so now to have him on the record, of course, elevates it much greater. So to me, that's one of the big highlights of the thing so far.
This past weekend, I'd say, was definitely a highlight because, you know, there was a lot of motion going on. You know, we all got together. We had a rehearsal. We had a show. We had a preparation day and then a music video all in one weekend. So it was a really busy weekend. I think we made a lot of memories. You know, we worked with this new video guy that we hadn't worked with before. His name is Thomas Crane. He's very talented. And for me, that was one of our highlights for sure. I had a great time just this very past weekend. I mean, it was something special, you know.
Awesome.
Full Metal Weekend. Full Metal Weekend.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because I remember you guys did mention that you did have a film set as well. So I guess, you know, without giving it away, you know, with the filming and stuff, basically, any do you want to give any clues or any hints for the fans out there? You know, like
Eric's dying to talk. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I guess we did do a video for our cover that we did of King Diamond's classic tune, Welcome Home. I'm not going to give away too much, but it is going to be a really heavy metal video. I mean, if you like King Diamond and you like a horror-themed film, I think you're going to like it. It's going to be a fun one.
Awesome, man. Once it's released, we'll share the content, man. We're big supporters of your band, so we'll continue promoting it for you guys.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
New material. Through our colleague David Dia from Italy, mate. We'll plug it in for you, mate. So we're looking forward to the clip coming in. For the audience out there that's just watching and still with us, they've got mad music videos out of darkness, and we'll put links for them as well. And you guys have probably seen it through the video as well. So definitely go check them out on their socials as well. And I just got to ask Bill a question because I haven't done mixing for a while, and I used to get into doing the mixing and the recording, but I normally find it a bit tedious because you got to keep everything balanced. And when you listen to your music, it's a top-notch production. So I was really impressed that this is you've done all that. So is there any highlights, or is there any moments that you probably look back and go, you know what, I think this is the kind of production that I like to do, or do you feel like you got more to grow in there, and you've got this band that you can like get the best sound going forward?
That's a great question. Yeah, so for me, one of the first times I knew we might be onto something good is we actually started the album recording as a test to see if it would sound good. You know, you do basically a home recording, and so we're like, okay, we'll give this a shot. If we get into it and it's not sounding good, then we'll go to a proper studio, the one we did last time. but I did some rough mixes of just mainly Brent's drums with some scratch guitars, and the guys were really impressed by it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I've got something here, because years ago I used to run a studio out of my house as a second business, but it was mostly analog gear. And then I had kids, and I didn't want people coming to my house, so I closed down the studio. And so now I'm getting back into it, but everything is digital, and it's in your computer and plugins, and so it's taking the concepts that I learned years ago and making them work in the digital world was a real challenge. And I don't have the most perfectly treated acoustic room here, so you try to listen on a bunch of different environments, and the main thing is you trust your meters. But yeah, I've gotten compliments. We've gotten compliments, so I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I think it can get better. But if you knew how we actually recorded a lot of this, you'd be really surprised.
Mate, being in underground, mate, us being an underground platform, I've seen bands rehearse in the bedrooms with the vocals. They put the mattress at the background, get as much as they can, pad it as much as they can. When I was in the band, we got interfaces, the door, you plug it in, just get the cut, you get as many takes, which is a benefit because you can fuck up 100 times, for good takes. Where you're in a real set professional studio, you got to get paid per hour, so that's more stress. So when you have more time, you can actually show it. It's a benefit because you can actually spend more time on it. So and plus, I like recordings when bands do these recordings themselves, experiment and learn and grow. It just depends on each member's skill set. Some have the skill set, some need a bit more guidance in it, and it's good that they utilize Bill's basically put his craft onto the other side of his craft in the mix, because when I heard it, you couldn't pick it up. It was a home recording because it sounded that good. Mastering was good. The vocals stood up, the guitar stand out, the drums were there. So, and basically it takes a lot of hours to get that done. When you're doing something, when you're recording like that with a craft, it takes a lot of hours, a lot of mixes. So I'm sure that you guys would have heard maybe, 5, 6, 10 mixes of each versions, and then
exactly.
Brent would be like, I can't hear the cymbals, I can't hear the snare, or
yeah, exactly.
And then Eric would be like, I can't hear my vocals. And then you probably had bass, and you didn't have a bass player saying, I can't hear the bass. So you probably didn't have.
Yeah, if you only knew.
Oh my god.
Well, we did have a bass player in the album. I don't know, Brent, if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, we had. He's actually my best bud from many years. We played in Ice Earth together for a good few years, and he actually went on to play in Megadeth for a little while. His name is James McDonough. Yeah. He's an amazing bass player. How can I say this? He's very demanding as far as if he doesn't think something is the way that he thinks it should be. So he was definitely one to give input on that and whatnot. But he did an absolutely phenomenal job on the record. I mean, he really did. We were very happy to have him on the recording. It's kind of exactly what you said. Bill would get it to a point, send us the mixes. We would send him notes and whatnot. He'd go back and do it. And then one day I went over, and there were certain things like the ride cymbal was one thing that we were trying to get to stick out. But yet when you would turn that up, that would turn other bits up, like crash cymbals and stuff. So we had to spend time. I just sat there, Bill. Yeah, automating. To where it would go up and down as needed. But I think the end result speaks for itself. It's we're very, very happy with it. What we wanted to do was at least match, if not supersede, the original version. Yeah. And I think that we achieved that.
I think my magic phrase through that entire session was, we need to record that vocal again.
I hear that in my
Bill was
sleep.
ready to. He must have been ready to murder me by the end of it. I kept saying, "Oh, Bill, we got to do that one again. That line, man, it's not right."
I can do better. I know I can do better.
It was all worth it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go, oh, if you're a guitarist or you go, oh, I forgot one note. Maybe, you're going to go one note in. So, it's always when you do recording, it's always you want to get it right. You want to, because this is your basically presentation. So, all these hours and hours, it's worth it in the end. And looking forward to hearing more of your music going forward, I guess. And basically, I guess what basically fuels the band on and off the stage, like what kind of gives you guys the motivation? Is it do you feel like when you're getting more engaging with new fans, you people discover your music, does that help you guys get a bit more going into progressive, or you're more like, we like to work on our craft and see how things go? So, what kind of drives you on and off the stage, each of you? So I'll probably start with, I'll go with Bill. I'll get into stuff.
Probably the biggest thing for me is when you play live, if you see people start to sing along to your songs, or you can tell that they're maybe air guitaring a part to a solo, that they know the solo, and you're like, okay, they actually know and appreciate and are into what we do. And it's little things like that to me that make it worthwhile.
So for me personally, speaking for myself, I think the driving factor for me is the art of heavy metal, I've been into music since I was a little kid, and what's always made me want to do it is the artistry. Something about crafting something so unique and powerful that could reach so many people, and making something that moves not only the people around you, but you yourself, the artist. I think that is what pushes me for the love of the art and the making of it.
For me, Eric kind of took my answer a little bit, but just to expand upon it, for me, and I think I speak for all of us, metal is kind of it's in our blood. It's what we have to do. I think that some people choose to do something, and some people are chosen to do something. And I think that this is just what we all have to do. And it is also for the artistry of it. We're not just churning out songs real quick. We're taking them and we're trying to finally craft them, and make them as good as they can be, as special as they can be, and lyrically as well. And also Eric said a good point too. The way that I've always worked in bands that I've been in is we try and please ourselves first, and we feel like if we're happy with it, then people are gonna like it. Rather than, I guess maybe some bands might write something like, well, let's write something that we think people want to hear, and to me, that's kind of you're chasing your tail with that. Yeah. We try and satisfy ourselves first, and we feel like if we're happy with it, then that's that's step one. And that people will dig it, but it's in our blood. It's what we got to do.
Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. I think you guys have got a great music, great products. Great to have you on, Eric. I noticed that you got to play with your cat for a bit. What's your cat's name? Is in case our viewers go, oh, that's a nice cat.
He's Prince Timothy the First.
He's always playing with his pussy.
I guess, yeah. Like
he just walked up to me one day. I was just sitting out on the front porch, and he chose me. This kitty cat. He was so little. He was like this big, and he just walked up to me and started purring a little bit. And the next thing I knew it, he won me over, and I took him in, and I love that kitty cat.
And he's actually he's allergic to cats too. He's allergic to cats a bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what cats do, isn't it? They choose their owners. Yeah. I got one too.
Totally.
Yeah, I've got. I'm all getting cats. Well, I've got a cat there.
Let's see your cat. You might as well grab him now.
What we got here? Oh.
That's Raven.
Oh,
She's gonna run away now, but
yeah.
yeah, Eric took a liking to her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Raven is
she's
awesome.
All right, Bill's back. All right, cool. Bill's back to the party. Oh, he's got it.
So, so this is our newest that we just took in. Was an orphan, and yeah. So we named. We don't know if it's a he or she. It's a little too small.
Yeah.
But we'll say him. We named him Ozzy. So,
there we go.
yeah, this is
That's
Ozzy,
awesome.
and he's the coolest duck. He'll just hang out and get petted.
I don't see I see that kind of ducks in Australia. So we've got. I don't have any. I've got 2 dogs, 3 cats. So it's hard for me to go get the dogs and the cat because the dogs they get excited, so they start fighting and fighting. It probably won't be entertaining on the Zoom call, but and I've got 3 cats. One of them looks like yours, Eric.
Nice.
Her name is Bean, so she normally likes to follow around, but she's basically one of the kind of cats where it's like. She'll go on her own journey. If she wants to hang around with you, she'll walk around, she'll be next to you. And then if she's like, well, look, leave me alone now, so I'm going to sleep on your couch and you can't play PlayStation, I'm like, okay. So, she's one of those kind of cats. And then I think I've got one that's a bit old, but he communicates and he talks and he goes, hello. Leave your home with the meows. So when he speaks, he's hungry, so he wants to be fed. It's what's good about doing when good interviews. You just don't know what comes up, like cats and stuff and pets. So it's good to have a bit of a kind of different subject. We'll wrap it up, man. Before we wrap it up, is there anything you guys want to say to anyone that has been supporting you guys with your campaign at the moment? And there's anything you want to say as well before we wrap it up?
We should give a shout out to Tina.
Absolutely.
You know how to pronounce her last name?
I think it's Busikas, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
From Metal Crash Radio.
Yeah, Metal
Crash Radio.
She's been a big supporter of us for years now.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
Special thank you to Tina and David. Of course, Davide. I'm not sure how to pronounce it precisely. He's got that Italian pronunciation. But thank you to the both of them. And thank you to all of the fans. Thank you for all of the listeners. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. Check out our website, outofdarknessofficial.com. And support us by purchasing our new album, Seize the Day, that we just released, as well as our self-titled record, Out of Darkness.
I love you all.
Awesome, and you've got good supporters, and we were happy to support your journey as well, guys. So all the best. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy hanging out with Ozzy, Bill, your cat Eric, and Deadly. Mate, it's good to meet you as well in person, and good to see how you guys operate with the band. It's great chatting, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. So thank you for watching, everyone.
Thanks for having us, man.
Metal lives.
So much for having us.
Thank you, Dan.